tea mornings. My last Tales of Argosa session was really fun. In the previous session, we had a character die, got eaten by a T-Rex, and then in between, one player dropped out of the campaign and another player joined. This left only two of the original characters in the campaign, an artificer named Calder Wick and a rogue named Brogan Dango, and it also meant that we got to introduce two new characters to the party. A barbarian sailor named Orloff Wavebane, because barbarians have to attack something, I guess, and an elf magic user named Ronan Taysar. They were wandering in the mountains following a map to some treasure, and after some rough introductions, because the elf has a 5 charisma and the player leaned into that hard, it was awesome, the groups agreed to join up to see if they could help each other out. The original party found the location of a mysterious rune was leading them towards, and they were disappointed to find out that it was nothing more than a hole in the ground which led to a cave. They did, however, see that the entrance to the passage had been trapped, so they sent Brogan ahead to scout out, and what happened next was amazing. The players did everything right. They kept their torchlight from spilling up to where they could hear the voices. Brogan snuck up to the chamber opening and was careful to not be seen as he took note of what was in the room, and then he snuck back. And disaster hit when he kicked some rocks, failed that stealth check hard. This alerted the guards, who grabbed their light and investigated the noise. Now, in previous campaigns, this is when the group would have just rushed forward and gotten into all sorts of trouble, but Tales of Argosa has taught them some caution. The group pulled back to the entrance hall and set an ambush. Now, their initial ambush failed, but they had the better positioning and they fought off the guards, who were pretty strong. One did get away, though, and started screaming for help, but the group, again, decided to get into a defensible position and wait for whatever was coming to have to force their way into them. When Wick saw a group of figures moving towards them, he let off a shot with his black powder weapon and took one down, only to realize in that moment that no one else had a ranged weapon, and they were going to be in some serious trouble. This is when Ronan stepped forward, his eyes turned black as mist formed around his hands, and he shot out an impenetrable darkness down the hallway. The group felt safe for a moment, only to have a local boss show up and engage the entire party in melee by herself. Now here's the thing, I can't hit anything when I'm the GM, and I also forgot that bosses have rerolls in Tales of Argosa, so that was accentuated. But the encounter amped up the tension a lot, and when the boss fell at their feet, we ended the session. It was such a good time. Monte Cook Games has dropped the PDF of the new Cipher system guide. Now, I'm about 100 pages in, and here are some preliminary thoughts. First, much of the text is copied and pasted from the Cipher system rulebook. It is tweaked in some places to update it for the new mechanics, but it's verbatim in a lot of areas. Second, the organization of the various essays is much better in the Cipher GM guide than in the previous rulebook, where it sometimes felt that the book could get lost in an end list, and then there's this loop. Third, the presentation feels fresh. To my naked eye, it looks like the font's just a tad bigger, and the spacing between the lines feels more natural somehow. The page decorations are a fine new coat of paint on MCG's design language, and the art placement keeps text walls from overwhelming readers. They do still exist in places, but they're not as common as far as my first read-through goes. Fourth, the new advice I've encountered so far is very nice. I do say this is a good update to one of my favorite systems, and hopefully it'll open up the game for a whole new player base. To all my friends going to Gen Con, have a blast. Also, Jorben, stop giving me FOMO, dang it. I will be at 20-Sided Tankard at Broken Goblet Brewery in Bensalem, PA on August 9th, and I'm running a game of Cipher, the new one, at 5 p.m., and I've got some seats available. If you're interested, there's the link for my game. It'll also be in the description. Monte Cook Games has also released an updated Cipher character creation tool to folks who backed Cipher. The tool is in testing, so they're asking us not to share the URL with anyone, and there are a few minor bugs, but I can say I've tried it on my Mac, iPad, iPhone, and Books tablet so far, and it's worked well. Now, I was having some issues on the Books when it first dropped, but those have since disappeared. I'll be doing a live stream demo of how it works pretty soon, just as soon as they say, yeah, go ahead and show the interface off, that's fine. I do hope, though, that the old tool will remain around because I've got a number of characters in it. World update. The Strait of Hormuz is still closed. The Orange is threatening war crimes again. The regime tried to subpoena the New York Times because they don't like their incompetency being paraded out in public, and the Orange is saying that he's running in 2028. Great. No one's heard from Mitch McConnell in weeks, though his staff insists they're meeting with him about Senate business while he's still in the hospital, and the Orange has no idea how long his Iran debacle has been going on. We're less safe. Great. Now, here's in other news. In my state, the DMV had a software glitch which was registering ineligible residents to vote, a few thousand in total, and the Murphy administration apparently knew about it and didn't do anything to patch the hole. I just can't even. I mean, thankfully, only a few of those who were erroneously registered actually voted, and our current governor, Mickey Sherrill, flipped all the way out, rightly so, when she heard about the glitch and demanded it get patched, which should have been done a couple of years ago. So all in all, thank you so much, Governor Sherrill, for attacking a real problem, and great job, Governor Murphy, for giving the Orange hints of an actual boogeyman because your administration decided to not deal with the problem. And it doesn't matter if the boogeyman once seen ends up being smoke and mirrors, like a nothing burger, because by not dealing with it, you gave the cult yet another conspiracy theory to latch onto. And yeah, they'll do that anyway. But it seems that not making it even easier to develop a new delusion is a pretty low bar to get over. Again, great job, Governor Murphy. I am crowdfunded out at the moment, but I gotta say that Limithron's got an amazing campaign going on right now for some cool nautical battle maps. Go check it out. July is going to be the first month in about 2 years that I haven't hit the $50 mark in revenue. I've been hitting that $100 payout about every other month for the last 2 years. The algorithm is putting less and less and less emphasis on past videos, and it's putting a ding into the channel. So if you do the whole like, comment, subscribe routine on this video, it'll show the mighty algorithm that I'm still here. And if you're on a mobile device, hyping this video also does something. No one's really sure what it does, but it apparently does something, and that would also be appreciated. Finally, if you'd like to offer some direct support to DM Tales, you can become a channel member here on YouTube, or if you'd like some additional benefits like my TTRPG templates, adventure notebooks, as my tables complete arcs, full handwritten adventures, I got one for Shadow Dark up right now, and ad-free videos, you can join my Patreon. The links for both are right in this graphic and in the video description. And again, everybody, thank you for watching. Last week's new Monero session was all social encounters. The group had awoken in the previous session in a mysterious town after a violent battle, and they knew something was off. The town was well ordered. It was better developed than any place any of the characters had seen during their lives, and the residents referred to them as new arrivals. And these arrivals were so common that the town had a system in place to acclimate them, complete with transitional dormitories and dorm monitors to be a welcoming presence. The party's arrival, though, was admittedly to be a bit different because they just appeared in an unconscious heap in the town square, complete with all their very weird-looking equipment. And also, during their initial conversations, the group revealed that they remembered the dream. That is, the unreal place that people in the town referred to that they'd been before they arrived in the neighborhood. The neighborhood is the name of the town. Most new arrivals had no recollection of the dream, or if they did, they only had a few faint flashes of memory. Now, during the session, the group met the head of local security, were shot some warning glances by a bartender. They pissed off the head of local security when one character dismissed him after he kindly suggested that they not talk about the dream in public. And they had a nice chat with the mayor. It was really a wonderful time. Toward the end of our session, one character did succeed at the reality check and figured out that the neighborhood was actually a datasphere node with the reality settings turned all the way up to 11. None of the other characters believed him. It was wonderful. Also, the library is closed because the librarian is ill. I've got the PDF for Inkwell Ideas Rock and War Bestiary, the Shadow Dark version, with creatures riffing off of old rock songs. These things are creepy as all get out, and they will fit perfectly into my Tales of Argosa campaign. This is gonna be fun. Now, the full PDF is only out for backers at the moment, but there will be sample zines at the Inkwell Ideas Gen Con booth. You can pick them up there. And for folks who are unable to get to Gen Con, you can get the PDFs of those zines right now. Just follow that link. All right, coming up, I do have that Dragonbane Book of Magic review that I need to get to. I've got some really good thoughts about it and some of the cool things that it adds to the game as a whole, more than just a bunch of different schools of magic, so that's really cool. I am still reading Shadow West, really interesting take on Shadow Dark in the Weird West. Want to get that out pretty soon. I got the video I want to do for my book's tablet, showing how I'm using it after a couple of months for all of my TTRPG notes and why I'm sharing it and doing it this way. Also created a couple of new templates specifically for Cipher for NPCs and creatures. That's going to be very, very helpful for me. I like to share that off to everyone. I do have Flowers of Aldrab, that box campaign for Coriolis the Great Dark that I desperately want to get into. Actually thinking about starting Epic Group for that, maybe putting another game on hiatus if people really want to try it out because it's kind of fun. And I've got a whole bunch of other things. What I got Outgun Superheroes has come in. That's really cool. Top Secret is there. I still need to do TMNT. So many cool things. Dark Space is there. I need to finish reading that so I can get the Dark Space conversion for the Orshan Incident done. And the Orshan Incident Cipher conversion is almost completely done. And then we got to get all the artwork and stuff in so we can start getting that stuff ready to package for the people who backed it. Looking forward to doing some Ramble streams coming up. I am also looking forward to doing some live stream interviews. I do have a couple coming up. And if you are interested in any of this, I am very happy to bring it to you. And until we see each other again, folks, happy playing, everyone.